Tal Heinrich from the office of the Israeli Prime Minister. Good evening. Thank you for being with us. We understand that the Prime Minister is to speak in just over an hour's time. The Defence Minister, we understand, will be there. What are they going to say to the people of Israel?
Well, I cannot make any official comment on that. You will have to wait for the shared press conference. As far as I understand, there will be journalists here, there, and questions will be asked as well. There will be Q&A.
Right, but are we right in saying that a significant ground operation is now underway inside Gaza?
I cannot provide any specific information about operational military activity happening on the ground or military strategy moving ahead. You, Mark, can call it right now stage 2 or stage 1.5 of the operation. We said that we will further act in Gaza as part of our mission and defined goal for this operation, this counteroffensive to dismantle Hamas. So that is what we're doing.
Right, but are Israeli troops on the ground this evening inside Gaza?
I cannot comment on that.
So you've come on, but you can't talk about anything in general about the Israeli operation?
Not about military strategy, not about military, I'm not the IDF spokesperson, not about military strategy moving ahead, and not about operational activity happening right now. I can talk to you about the goal of the activity in Gaza.
Talk to me about this then. You're producing what you say is this evidence of Hamas using the Al-Shifa hospital as a control center. Is Israel preparing the ground for an attack on that hospital? Is that what is going on here?
Again, not confirming, not denying. I'm not saying that the IDF might or might not hit that hospital, but we wanted to show the world the cynical use of civilian structures as hospitals, as mosques, and as schools, youth centers, and UNRWA schools in the Gaza Strip as basically commanding bases for their terror base in Gaza. We just released a recording of some Hamas terrorists are being held here in Israel because we arrested them, and in their investigation they are admitting on the record that this hospital, the biggest one in Gaza, is being used as the Hamas command center. That is unfathomable.
Okay, if Hamas is there, do you honestly think the world would accept an attack on the Al-Shifa hospital?
I'm not saying that we might hit that hospital or might not. Again, every place with Hamas terrorists right now, and I know that Gaza at large is a terror base, just like the ISIS Caliphate, any place with Hamas terrorists is a legitimate military objective as part of our mission to dismantle Hamas and hit them hard.
Okay. Now, you're telling people on social media this evening to move from northern Gaza to the south of Gaza. If you've cut all communications inside Gaza, how on earth are people supposed to get that message?
First, it's not only that today we have announced and called on people from northern Gaza to evacuate to the south. We've been saying so for 22 days.
No, I understand
that they have received. But again, but you are alluding you are alluding that Israel has cut the communications in Gaza. It's not something that I can confirm or deny. I have no comment on this. But, Mark, here's what I can say to you in that respect, that disrupting the communication of an enemy during wartime is completely legitimate. Otherwise, why would Alan Turing spend so many hours and months trying to break the Enigma code?
Is it legitimate? Okay, if it's legitimate to do it, is it then legitimate to send a message to flee a certain area on social media when people have no way of receiving that message?
Every resident in the northern Gaza Strip by now knows that they have to evacuate that area. In fact, so many have moved to the south to safer havens that the IDF has designated where humanitarian aid is awaiting. Social media and media channels are not the only way of how we have announced that. We sent leaflets. We're conducting phone calls. We, in fact, released one such phone call between an IDF officer and a northern Gaza Strip resident.
Okay, let me just ask you this finally. More than 2,000 children have been killed in Gaza. This is according to UNICEF, who say many are dying from injuries that they would otherwise, in a normal situation, survive. Why can you not enable critically injured children in Gaza to be evacuated from the war zone for treatment? Why can't Israel organise that through the Red Cross or through the World Health Organization or through the UN? Why can't you get critically injured children out of Gaza for treatment?
So 2 points here, Mark. First, we are taking any number coming out of the Gaza Strip with a grain of salt. I know you are quoting UNICEF, but UNICEF is quoting the Gaza Health Ministry, which is the Hamas Health Ministry. They are the people with the guns, so they are the ones who are coming up with these numbers. And we've seen in past incidents during this war that their numbers were not correct. For instance, that incident in the hospital when an Islamic Jihad rocket misfell, 15 minutes later, the Palestinians in Gaza, they came out with...
But they're broad numbers, but quite often, but quite often...
Would you take numbers out of North Korea
at the end of
face value?
No, I'm just saying that quite often when these things happen, as they do, all too frequently, that the broad numbers do eventually, when all is said and done and the registrations are looked at and everything, they do tend to tally. That's all I'm saying.
We don't want civilian casualties, more so of children. Of course not, Mark. And we hope that children or anyone injured in Gaza will receive the medical treatment that they need. This is why we have said that we will not prevent medical aid from medical supplies from coming in from the Rafah border crossing. Egypt shares a border with Gaza.
The hospitals are really struggling with the lack of fuel and medicines. But listen, we've run out of time.
No. In fact,
coming on.
There is fuel in Gaza. There is fuel. It's controlled by Hamas. I guarantee you, Mark.
Yeah, there's not. I think the figure is about 500,000 litres, and they need 160,000 litres a day. So it's not going to last that long. But listen, as I say, we've run out of time. I appreciate you coming on this evening. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Mark.